Congratulations, Feld, you've done it again! What has Feld done again, you might be asking? Good question. Well, here's a tidbit of news that came out a couple weeks ago. Yes, I know, I always seem to report on old news for some reason. I apologize over that. But see, I've stopped paying attention to Feld as of lately because I have thought, mistakenly, once again, that Feld has already hit rock bottom and they can't get any worse. Well, every single time, without exception, that I have thought that, Feld somehow manages to do just that. Every single time that we think they can't get any worse, they manage to pull it off and they do just that. I actually don't know how they do it. I don't. Like, I get it. Oftentimes, major corporations make really stupid mistakes. And people generally get angry over those mistakes. Okay, it happens. It's almost inevitable. But those mistakes are usually just that. Mistakes, as in accidents. And when companies find out they made a big accident, you know what they do? They fix it so that their customers are happy once again. But Feld, like I would have to put effort into being this backwards of an organization. That would take actual physical effort. And even then, I'm not sure even then I could possibly be this backwards. So let's get on to the topic of today's Feld rant. So here's the tidbit of information on Monster Jam's official website. Link to this article will be in the description below, by the way, for you guys to read for yourself. From August 8th, this is what Monster Jam had to say. Monster Jam World Finals 21 will return to Orlando and Camping World Stadium in 2020. That's right, folks. Monster Jam will be holding the World Finals in Orlando, Florida at the same venue, Camping World Stadium, for the second consecutive year. Now, why is this a problem, you might be asking? Good question. Actually, most of you might already have figured this out by this point, but for the rest of you, let me explain. Let's go back to an article that Monster Jam released in February of 2018. You ready for it? Bam! There it is. This is an article that was also posted to Monster Jam's official website in 2018. Now let's read the title of this article. World Finals to begin rotational schedule in 2019. Now see that keyword there, rotational. Starting with Orlando in 2019. Although this article actually says MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. That got changed later on. It got changed to Orlando. Now, this was pretty controversial from the start. Most fans did not like this at all. To me, it wasn't too big of a deal, except mainly for the Vegas-style racing. That, for me, was the biggest problem with this idea in the first place. Granted, yes, I knew they would at least try to replicate that at other venues, and it turns out they did in Orlando. But still, there's also a very limited number of venues where Vegas-style racing is feasible. At the same time, I did also kind of understand the whole idea of rotating the venue every year. It's just like what the Super Bowl does every year, where they rotate to a different venue every year as well. But most fans downright hated this idea, and for the reasons I just explained, that's completely understandable to me. It's understandable why fans don't want the event to be rotated in this case, because for 18 years, this event has been held in Las Vegas. Everyone's used to the event being in Las Vegas. Even people who have to fly in from all over the country, or maybe even Canada possibly, to go to Las Vegas. And of course, it is by far the best venue for Vegas-style racing. Orlando, not as much. I mean, it still wasn't the same with Orlando. I mean, the way they went about it was still kind of ridiculous, having to build dirt ramps over the seats and all that crap. So yeah, most people were not happy with that, and I get that. But now, Feld, this is the real bread and butter of this video. But now that you're holding the event in Orlando for the second consecutive year, implying you are no longer going to be rotating the event, so now, Feld, it looks like you have rendered this whole controversial decision to move out of Sam Boyd Stadium, useless! Do you see what I'm getting at here? You took the event out of Sam Boyd Stadium, which people already hated, but in a roundabout way, sort of just stood by and said, don't worry, fans, we're doing this for the well-being of our fans, so we can rotate to different venues and bring the event closer to other people throughout the country, blah, 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 blah. You have now taken your only possible shred of justification for moving the event out of Sam Boyd Stadium and tossed it clean out the window. That's what you've done. So does this mean the World Finals is now going to be held in Orlando permanently from now on? That's certainly what I've been led to believe. If you're holding the event 2 consecutive years in the same city and venue when you previously said it would be rotated. Doesn't sound like you're still rotating it now, Feld. So why not just move the event back to Sam Boyd Stadium? Or maybe, just maybe, they told Sam Boyd Stadium, look, we're not going to be here in March anymore every year, so nice knowing you, we're out of here. And then maybe someone else booked the venue for that time of the year so they couldn't go back. I suppose that's possible. But still, that does not change the fact, even if that is true, that does not change the fact that you have still rendered the move out of Sam Boyd Stadium completely and totally useless. So whether you can't or won't go back to Sam Boyd Stadium in 2020, congratulations, Feld. You have outdone yourself yet again. And why Orlando, I may ask? Why, or if you have given up on the whole rotating thing, and if you can't go back to Vegas, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt on that one, because I don't even know. That may or may not be true. But in any case, why hold the event in Orlando, Florida? Florida had 4 stadium shows every year. They were held in Tampa, Jacksonville, Miami, and there was already an event in Orlando, and has been for years. So that's 3 additional cities, and it's 4 if you include the fact that Orlando had a show every year from the beginning before the World Finals was moved to Orlando. So why would you move the World Finals to a state that has 3 other shows within a 2 hours drive radius, give or take, and already had a show in that same city on top of that? See, in Las Vegas, that was the best way for fans in the Las Vegas area to attend the show. The 2 closest shows from Las Vegas would be Anaheim and Phoenix. Phoenix would be kind of close, I guess, but Anaheim would be farther. It's like a 6-hour drive at least. But instead, no, you have to have it in a state that had 4 stadium shows to begin with. And that's just the stadium shows. They might have had an arena show in Tallahassee, I'm not sure on that. But still, as Tim Horn pointed out in one of his Feld roast videos, he was roasting a Feld bot, as he calls them, for justifying the fact that the Florida shows had less attendance. His excuse? Well, it's because the World Finals is being held in Orlando, so less people are going to the stadium shows. It's not that Feld's failing. People are just holding out for the World Finals. Well, I guess, as Tim Horn rightfully pointed out, that's a good reason why you shouldn't have the World Finals in a place like Florida. Of course, even if the World Finals were being held permanently somewhere else besides Las Vegas, it'd still be stupid. But the fact that it's in Orlando, surrounded by 3 other stadium shows, and replacing 1, makes it all the more stupid. Congratulations, Feld. You have done it yet again. This is Clear Sky Productions. That's all I have to say on this topic until the next time, of course, when Feld screws up big time. I know they're going to, because, see, every time something like this happens, I think, this is it. This is it. Feld cannot get any worse. They cannot possibly go to a new low. And yet, every single time I say that, or think that, without exception, they do just that. So I'm expecting Feld to inevitably do it yet again. Will it be a couple weeks, couple months? Only time will tell. But when that time comes, I'll be right here to destroy Feld once again. So until then, this is Clear Sky Productions, signing off. Good night, folks.